even more great information on Social Security that no one else will talk about other than your old buddy Josh. That's why you're here, because I give you the full scoop, not just the doom and gloom. I don't hide from doom and gloom, but we say, wait a second. Why are people always talking smack on Social Security and our ability to retirement? Because we have evidence, strong evidence, that the vast majority of retirees are content in retirement. No one talks about, my hair's up right there, my hair's up. No one talks about that other than me. And we're going to share with you some even more great news on Social Security. It's crazy that no one talks about this stuff. And I'm not sure why. I think a lot of them are just ignorant. They just don't know. But there are some nefarious people out there in this business. Oh my goodness, everything's collapsing. I'm like, you read the book of Jeremiah? Huh? All right. Come back to me then there, guy. All right. Don't forget to subscribe to my local channel every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern. The Doobie Dook, that's what that meant. And the Doobie Dook down below. Every 4 p.m. Eastern, we go live on locals, usually 30 minutes. We're just shooting the crap. Once I get a few more subscribers, paid subscribers, we can go longer than 30 minutes and more than once a week. I'm pretty close. I think I need like 8 or 9 more, something like that. $5 a month, dude. $5 a month. And because that is for locals only. I think it's only for subscribers. Where you can chat, you can say stuff, post stuff. Yeah, I love it. I love locals. Big fan. I follow Viva Frey, Robert Barnes on locals, and I'm pretty active in that community too. Talking schmack. Anyway, and then of course my email list. I've been emailing a couple times lately, which I enjoy. I hadn't emailed since January, so that's in the Doobie Dook as well. Subscribe to that as well. So anyway, so my man Warner. So Warner kicks butt. He sent me this right here. Actually, one second, let me show you. Because this right here, the National Average Wage Index. So I want to talk about because Warner actually is reviewing my book, Relax and Retire: Debunking Inflation Fears by your old buddy Josh. And Warner, unlike 4 other people who will go unnamed, one from Indiana, one from Pennsylvania, one from North Carolina, and my old sister from New Jersey, dropped the ball, not getting back on the book to me. And Warner's got young kids, everybody, and he reviewed this just like that. Gave you some serious, wonderful stuff. That's why if you're writing a book, you got to get third-party eyes on that, or second-party eyes, whatever it is, other than yours, because he actually gave me something to actually add to the book, which I kind of remember. I thought about doing, I just forgot, and then Warner said, you should use this. Oh, I said, man, you're right, dude. And that's freaking awesome. So I'm going to, what is the national, oh, no, where was it? Right there. Hold on a second. Let me see what I was looking at. What is the National Average Wage Index, you might ask? And why does that matter? Let's take a look, shall we? All right, let's go over here. Social Security benefits are computed using the average index monthly earnings. The average summarizes up to 35 years of a worker's index earnings. When we compute an insured worker's benefit, we first adjust or index his or her or they, come on, Social Security, they, fluid earnings to reflect the change in general wage levels that occurred during the worker's year of employment. Such indexation ensures that a worker's future benefits reflect the general rise in the standard of living that occurred during his or her or they working lifetime. All right, so I want to show you something here. If an insured worker becomes eligible for retirement benefits when he or they reaches the age of 62, because we're getting rid of women now apparently, an insured worker becomes eligible when he, we're just saying he, because that's what we used to do, and that's what we got to go back to. Make it simple. When he was the age of 62, that's when they become eligible. First, earliest year of eligibility is when he hits 62. If 2023 were that year of eligibility, we would divide the National Average Wage Index. Average Wage Index. Why do I keep harping on that? I'll show you. For 2021, by the National Average Wage Index for each year prior to 2021 to determine this would give the indexed earnings for each year prior to 2021. All right. We would consider any earnings in or after 2021 at face value without indexing. And that is what we're using to compute our average index monthly earnings. All right. So again, we use the AWI numbers, the average wage index, up until you're 60. I mean, it's literally you're 62, but they stop at 60 because it's 2 years behind, if that makes sense. And then once you're on Social Security, you get the COLAs. Interesting. So again, The average wage index, I cannot stress this. Understand this because this is huge and it's why it's such a good thing to know this. The average wage index was up 8.89% in 2020, for 2021, 8.89. What was the Social Security COLA? It was up 8.7. If you look historically, and I've done videos on this, the AWI has been up more than COLA. It's pretty significant. I think 50 or 75 basis points or something like that, which is pretty good given the low number that we're talking about, 3 and 4%. So the AWI, i.e., what is happening here is while you're working, your wages are going up at a certain, they're just going up. That's a fact. Hopefully. And what happens is that wage increase is being used to define your average index monthly earnings. All right, so that's good. Now, if you look at the AWI relative to COLA, and COLA is what you get once you're on Social Security, the AWI has been significantly higher than COLA. So every year you work, you're getting more into your future Social Security benefits because AWI is higher than COLA. I'm going to show you why that's the case here right now. Dude, I want to just love this stuff. I'm such a geek. We use the term wages to refer to net compensation. Raw average wage data are presented in the table below. Note that an average wage is average per worker, not an average per job. A change in the latest such average wage over the previous one is multiplied by the last year to produce the next AWI. It's confusing, I get it. But anyway, so check this out. So I love this stuff, dude. So here's our average wage index in 1985. It was 16,822. We scroll all the way down to 2021. It's 60,575. That's a 3.7% roughly average wage index increase. 3.7% on an annual basis. If we look at Social Security, CPI from 1985 to 2021, it's only increased by 22.6%. Again, I don't like CPI, but we're going to use it in this scenario anyway. So the average wage index increased by 33% more than CPI, which is good. So all these people say, we're not going to keep up with CPI. They're freaking idiots. They don't know what to talk about when it comes to average wage index. But check this out. All right, so check this out. The National Average Wage Index is based on compensation, wages, tips, and the like, subject to federal income taxes as reported by employers on W-2s. All right, beginning in 1991, compensation includes contributions for deferred comp plans as well, which it should be, but excludes certain distributions like IRA, 401k distributions, and pensions, where distributions are included in the reported compensation subject to income tax. Again, we're talking compensation. All right, net compensation. The table below summarizes the components of net compensation. Compensation subject to federal taxes. That's a lot of money right there. That's 100,000 million. That's $9 trillion, dudes? Crazy. $9 trillion. And they got 384, I don't know what that is. Hey, net compensation, $9 trillion, right? Because that's 100,000 million, yeah, $9 trillion. All right, now if we go down here, we can see basically the first interval here, we only had 19 million people made between $0 and $5,000 of net compensation. And their total compensation was $40 billion. They averaged $2,000. I want to point out something here too. Up to 90, that right there, 100,000 people. Cumulative amount of workers was almost 150 million. All right, their total compensation, but in this case, right here you can see the number. The number is kind of difficult to see, but we had a cumulative 150 million workers basically made less than $100,000, dude. 150 million workers out of 168 million workers. Only 18 million workers, again, it's per person, not per job, made more than 100,000 people. Only 18 million divided by 168, basically. That's 10% of the population made more than $100,000 bucks. But Josh, no one can retire unless they have $100,000 a year in income. Where is this coming from? 90% of the people made less than $100,000 bucks. Why do they need $100,000 of income to retire? It makes no sense. It's nuts. Anyway, so what's happening here? And here, look, so the 1% actually, if we go down here, right here is the 1%. If you made over 350, you're in the 1%. Congrats. But I don't feel like I'm in the 1%. Yeah, welcome to the club. So I'm in the 1% the last couple of years. I'm like, dude, I don't feel like I'm in the 1%. I'm still stressed about money. My goodness. Now, here's the issue, though. Here's the 0.1% for that's anything over 5 million, dude. We even say 10 million. You only got, what's that? Over 10 million, you got 4,500. That's 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people made over 10 million bucks. They can pay more tax. I'm sorry. But they're going to tax me then, Josh. Yeah, it's a little bit different taxing these people than coming all the way down here and taxing these people. And McCain actually talked, I don't like McCain, but he talked about it. Anyway, so what happens here is they take all this data. They said we got $9 trillion of compensation, net compensation, they divide by the number of workers, which is right there, and they come up with an average. And the average wage was $60,000. All right, that's great. But it's even better, because check this out. I want to show you. This will show it here real quick. Hold on a second. See the blue? That's the average. You see the red? That's the median. The median. Median means 50% of people make more, 50% of the people make less. The average skews the benefit, in this case, our good benefit, higher because there's certainly these rich people make more, so much more, they skew the averages. It's like if me and Bill Gates, if we look at our average versus our median, me and Bill Gates has $1 billion of, let's say $1 billion of income. I have $1 of income. So our average income is what, 500 million. But that doesn't mean anything. Our median is what, 1, because 50% of people make more, 50% of people make less, or 1.01, I can't, whatever it is. You see the difference? The averages skews it, the outliers. That's why I always talk about long-term care. You got a couple of people pay a lot of money that skews the average price of long-term care. But if you actually look at the median price, it's a whole lot different. And same thing here. The median is down here, the red. The average is up here, but they're using the average wage index to increase our cost of living. I hate to say COLA, but to increase our Social Security benefit while we're still making money based on the average. Now check this out. In 1991, if we go to this right here, is a 72% beta, if you will. So if the average was $100,000 of income, the median was $72,000. We fast forward to 2021. The beta is about, we'll say 64. If the average is 100,000, the median is only 64,000. And that's just because of stock compensation. The equity compensation has driven the wealthier to make more money. That's all there's to it. And you can see it's going down. The difference between the two, the widening gap between the haves and have-nots. I hate to say have-nots, but still, the richer are getting richer because of equities. Oh, market crash. Boink, boink, it starts going up again, where there's a less of a difference between the two columns. Again, this wasn't so much equity compensation. This is becoming more and more equity compensation on stocks. When stock market rises, the richer get richer because they have all the stocks. When actually income rises, the relative to the richer, the middle class gains. And you can see in the Trump years, look, in the Trump years from 2016 to 17 is going up. You can even say the Obama years too. 2014, there's a nice linear rate there because the growth of the middle class relative to the rich. And then we had a big stock kind of run here last couple of years, and the thing is the decline again in terms of the wage gap relative to the average and median. Anyway, so we can even visualize this. In 1992, the average net compensation was $22,000. Which meant we had a 5.1% increase over the average before. The median compensation was $15,000, which is only a 3.5% increase. You see, this is the benefit. We are getting this. We should be getting this, but we're getting this instead. So look at this. You can see, and this is cumulative, obviously, but the cumulative increase is 177% versus on the average, on the median, it's 149%. So if we use the average, we're getting 8.892% increase in our cost of living for workers, essentially, that will be used once we hit 62, versus 8.592 for the median. In 2022, we got 2.82% increase. If we use the median, it'd be 1%. In 2021, we got 3.8, where the average is the median is higher. Same here. But if you look at all these years, the average is significantly higher than the median, more by and large. 3. Here it wasn't. 3, there it was. Look at that. 2010, the average is up 2.3, where the median was only 0.39. I mean, you just go back and look at this. I mean, again, the average has gone significantly higher, 177% versus the median. And that's what we're basing our increase on Social Security on. The average is not the median. They should do it on the median, frankly, but they don't. And that's one of the reasons why Social Security is going to have to do something relative to make it more solvent. And we talk about that. I'm not worried in the least. But why is no one talking about that, dude? It's crazy. I mean, what we should be talking about, again, is how to, do I have the thing up here? I don't think I have it up there anymore. I don't. How to get more money off of, which is why, yeah, what was that? Back to 1951. So 2021 minus 1951, that's 70 years. We'll make that our N. Our average wage index, 27.99, which is present value. Our future value is 60,575 future value, no payment. We've averaged 4.49%, 4.5% a year increase in average wage index since 1951. I mean, but again, no, we're not keeping up with inflation. I already told you we were. Let me show you this. Go back to this guy since 1951. CPI versus rate of average wage index, and CPI has been 3.41. So we're averaging, again, that's 4.49 minus 3.41 divided by 3.41. We're averaging, again, 30% higher average wage index than cost of living adjustment if you look at CPI. That's a positive thing, dudes. It's a positive thing. I just proved you a couple of things. A, your Social Security benefits are growing more than CPI. That's a fact. B, your Social Security benefits are growing more while you're working, more than they frankly should, because they shouldn't be based on average. It should be based on median, but we'll take it. I'll take a win when we can get a win. 3, the vast majority of people make less than $100,000. Not even close. So the idea that if you're making $80,000 a year and working, and now you're going to need $100,000 retirement, what's that based on? It's freaking so stupid, dude. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. And in fact, with $80,000 a year, you're not bringing home $80,000. You got to pay 7.65 on top of whatever income tax you got to pay, any 401k distribute savings and whatnot too. There's so much to be positive about. Stop the naysaying. All right, love your thoughts. We'll see you.